Hello everyone, my name is Bex Townley from Later Life Training. Today's session here is just a quick introduction to explain what we have planned for you in the coming month, and it gives you an opportunity to try out the technology. The technology seems to be going okay, which is comforting. Good job, really. If you're watching this, you may be either an older person or you have an interest in supporting older people to move more. For example, you may be a physiotherapist or an exercise instructor wanting to encourage participants and patients to continue with their exercise programs, or you may be a family member or a formal, informal caregiver. These videos and the calendar resource that I will be referring to applies to all. We all need to and can benefit from moving more as best we can, and that's why we're here. I hope to build content and interest over the next 90 sessions we have planned. I put in brackets on my script here, yikes, it's a bit yikes. It's 90 sessions, and this whole project escalated very quickly in the last 48 hours with Bob and Dawn and all at LLT. So this is definitely a marathon and not a sprint, and for sure there'll be other cliches as I draw on material to get us all through this next month. But it's important when we're talking about changing our routines and habits that we know it's not a quick fix. So I really hope that I can encourage you and entice you to stick with me on this movement mission starting on Monday, which is starting to go a little bit international and a little bit wider than we perhaps first had anticipated. So we and everyone at Later Life Training are extremely thrilled to have this opportunity, and thanks so much already for joining us. So this is just an introduction to explain what's going to happen from Monday, but in keeping with the fundamental messages across this month, while I chat to you now for the next few minutes, about 4.5 in total, how active can you be? And by that I mean have a think about how you are stood or how you are sat. And if you're happy to stand, please do so now. I can't quite do that because this is what happens when I stand. But that's a pretty good lunge, and perhaps we can talk about that in a few more days. So even as you're listening to me now, consider how you're stood or sat. And this is all really key into what we're trying to embed in this month. If you are stood, stand in a relaxed position but a ready position. And if you are seated, move slightly forward in your chair as if you're also being ready to move in an active posture. Every movement counts, and we're going to continue with that message. The very first fundamental message: every movement counts. Whatever your starting point is in this movement journey, it definitely counts, and we want to support you through this community in this month to build on that confidence and knowledge to move more. So are you sitting or standing comfortably? So what will we be doing in these videos? The 90 videos, just realised 90 is quite a lot. Well, I'll be showing you brief demonstrations from the movements set out in this active calendar. Okay, some of you may already have downloaded and printed this. There are further instructions on this group about how to get your hands on one of these, freely downloadable. If you haven't got one, it doesn't matter. You can still follow these videos and we can still do all the stuff we want to do. But of course, I'm only going to see you 3 times a day. And the whole point of this movement mission is to think about how you move in between those times. So the calendar gives you a visual prompt also. Over and above the calendar content, I'll be hoping to add some more chat and some more information that's hopefully going to be of interest. I hope to be an interesting 10 minutes for you, 3 times per day. And you always have an option to watch later if you can't join me live, or you can choose to turn me off. That's okay too. You may be thinking that 3 times a day might be a bit much, but there's a reason for that too. And for those of you that are familiar with all the work we do at Later Life Training, there's a reason for pretty much everything we do, and we'll expand on that in this coming month. But by the end of the month, we hope that we, LLT, have given you some simple ideas and resources, show you how easy it can be to move more. Now, that's not to say we don't acknowledge and understand that moving isn't always easy, and there's lots of challenges and barriers. We just need to start somewhere. We hope to nudge you into a regular action, and a little bit more than you would have done had we not been thrown in this position. And we hope to have helped you towards developing perhaps new movement habits during this month whilst feeling part of this community. That would just be absolutely amazing. If something has changed for you by the end of this month, magic. We've done a great job. It takes time to change our habits. So as Lionel Richie once said, you get me not once, not twice, but 3 times a daily. Just one song reference, I promise. So how is that standing or sitting position going for you? Have you slumped? Have you leaned? Are you disappearing? I want you to stand taller or sit taller, open. Just be relaxed but strong and confident in your standing or your sitting position. It's a critical start point before we start to do any kind of movement. Open the chest, take a breath. Is your weight even across your buttocks or your feet? And think and consider that. I'll be really encouraging you to think about how you're moving. Most importantly, just move. But we want to change some stuff over this month. So one more important message before I sign off on this intro. These daily movement snacks and prompts are not designed to replace anything you may already be doing. When it comes to physical activity, more is better. Keep doing any other online exercise sessions or DVDs that you may be doing. Keep doing any exercise treatment programs given to you by your physiotherapist or programs given to you by your exercise instructors. If you have any doubts about joining us, I just ask that you tune in, that you listen. Even listening is a great start point, and then you can decide. Finally, just let me clarify who these live sessions were kind of originally designed for. Well, they're informed by the success of this little tool here that we wrote at the beginning of this year, and that was designed for older people. But age isn't the only issue here. It's movement or lack of it. So if you know that you spend long periods sitting, if you want to make a start to move more, if you want to maintain your mobility, your strength and your balance and your confidence to move and be on your feet, and if you have a bit of time on your hands in this next month, please tune in and see if you fancy making movement your mission for the next 30 days. Brackets, the 30 days is always just the start point. We want to give you a great start. We have a massive opportunity to support you, to understand a little bit more about something that perhaps you've taken for granted or not considered. I hope to see you on Monday for the very first live video at 8 a.m. I can't see you, so that could still be in pyjamas. We'll be starting with a whole body mobility routine on Monday. That can be started in sitting or in standing, and that will kind of be consistent throughout this month. So we're going to kick off the day with some movements. We're going to mobilise and get all the body moving, ready for the day. But I can't leave without planting a seed and giving you something to think about, to get excited about Monday. Over the weekend, Please try to break up your long periods of sitting. Get on your feet, even if it's for a few minutes, even if it's just to stand up. And if standing isn't the best thing for you, that's okay. Work on your active, ready positions in your chair, your ready posture positions. So just coming away from the chair, thinking about sitting a little bit taller, a little bit more active in the chair. And we're going to go through some visual demos of these next week. That's the intro. I have a parting factoid for you. This is one from my great friend and colleague at LLT, Dawn Skelton. So she's been feeding us lots of great factoids that will be crowbarring into this journey. Here's today's factoid, and it's really pretty much sums up everything about why we need to do this. 1 week of bed rest or sitting all day will lead to a loss of about 1% of your bone density and up to 20% of your strength. Okay, keep thinking about your standing and your sitting postures. Thanks so much everyone for your support. I'll see you over on the group now, and see you on Monday, 8 a.m. Thank you so much.